Matt, we know how big you are. You got the hat on, I'm assuming. Final Fours this weekend. That's all we got to say. And it's one of the most, I think, most anticipated Final
Yeah,
Fours coming
Kansas
up.
Nova, man, it's what a rivalry. What a
I mean, at the end, like everybody keeps saying though, the Blue Blood final. I mean,
No, I'm just joking.
Villanova's been there so many times in Kansas. I mean, Kansas was kind of a an afterthought all season, and then they come in, they get hot in the Big 12, they come in as a 1 seed, and now they're here in the Final Four. And then of course the one everybody's got to talk about, Duke Carolina. I mean, what more do you have to say?
The Final Four is going to be, I think, more exciting than the championship game because it's crazy to me that the UNC and Duke has never played in the tournament. Like Maddie said, yeah, it had to be the Final Four, but you would have thought at some point in the last 30, 40, 50 years, 60 years that they would have at least played in the Final Four one time. But the
Yeah,
crazy thing is the first time they do it is Coach K's maybe, hopefully, last game that he coaches because I think Duke wanted to see any other team than UNC, a team who has played them twice, has beaten them in their at home in their last game, and they know them. They know they know all about them. They don't have to do research. They don't have to watch tape. They know this team. And for Duke, that's like, oh man, I wish I could have gotten away from that team.
I think the same could be said on the opposite hand, though, too. I mean, Duke beat them pretty handily at Carolina. And
I
obviously there
understand
was a
that, but
lot more
I'm
pomp and
just,
circumstance, but I
I think, well, okay.
so
I
let's
I think the one thing that plays in Carolina's favor is I think most of the pressure, if all of it, if not all of it, is heavily on Duke and on their team and on
Oh
their
yeah,
yeah.
coach.
they're
And
the higher seed. Um, they have a team full of NBA players.
a lot
It's
of
their
youth.
coach's last game or last season. It is Duke. It's Duke. Everyone wants them to lose.
Carolina's played a lot of games together. That roster has Armando Bacot's a junior, Brady Mannix a senior, Leaky Black's a senior. Davis and Love are both sophomores that have played every game since they came in as freshmen, and it's they were also in the tournament last year. Yeah, they got bounced early, but Duke wasn't there last year. They got a bunch of freshmen, leading that team. So I think that pressure could be something to look at. On the flip side, the jaded, you know, um, fan that I am, I don't know that the NCAA, CBS, the powers that be, whatever the hell it may be, is really going to let Coach K lose that game. I think there's actually something bigger than all of us that's going to not let him lose because that would just be the ultimate nail in the coffin in that rivalry. It's the only way for that rivalry to become one-sided would be for Carolina to have beaten him in his last game at Cameron and then beat him in the Final Four for the only time they ever played in the tournament. If that happens, it's all the rivalries like you never recover from that. In my
Yeah,
opinion,
it is one of
I
those.
don't think you top that. I really
If you're
don't
digging
think you
into
can top
that,
that.
you got to pick one, right? If you're going to dig into
So
that
it's like,
conspiracy, you got to pick
yeah,
one.
like I don't think they're gonna let Carolina win that game. I just don't think I don't feel great about it. Like because I think Duke's offense is so fucking good, and like Carolina is a little bit, hasn't been a great defensive team throughout the season. They've been very good defensively in the tournament though, and Leaky Black is if he's not the best on the ball defender, in the country at this point, or he's definitely in the top five because his size, his length, his athleticism, he sticks with anybody, and you know they need him to have another big game. That's for sure.
Yeah, Matt, how much better do you think this Carolina team would be? And obviously, you can't complain. I mean, they're an 8 seed in the Final Four. If the guy we've talked about quite a bit, if Walker Kessler's still around.
Well, him or even the guy who transferred in to replace him had to leave the team. Dawson Garcia for a family health situation. He left the team in I think mid January, and he was a starter. He was playing ahead of Brady Manic. Another athletic big. They need another athletic big right now,
Yeah.
really badly. That depth would be huge. Um, on the flip side, it's turned Brady Manick into an absolute fucking legend in Chapel Hill. That's for sure. The guy's been a monster, hit clutch 3 after clutch 3. So you wonder if that, the butterfly effect of that, he takes this
Right.
part out of it, and does this happen or whatever. That said, you don't ever want to have guys like Walker Kessler leave your program, but it looks like he's going to be leaving Auburn to go to the NBA too. So tough break.
That's not going to go well for him, I don't think, but we'll
It
see.
sucks.
I think we're in for a great game. Like we said, this all we could really ask for at the.
What
at
do
the
you
end of all
guys
this.
think? You guys are unbiased. What's your what? Give me a prediction.
What I can
Give me
say is I think the winner of this game is going to win the national championship. Is what I think. I think, unfortunately, Villanova lost one of their best players towards Achilles. Kansas, they're a good team, but I just don't think that Kansas or Villanova could beat either of these teams the way they're playing right now. And with the momentum they would have off of such a big win like that, I don't know. Who knows what could happen on a Monday night in New Orleans. There's a lot of pressure on a game like that, but I just think that this UNC Duke game could be it all.
I do
Zach,
think Carolina, like in KenPom, since like February 25th or something like that. So I think since like the last week of the regular season, then through the conference tournament season, and then through the tournament so far, they're number 1 overall in KenPom since then. So they've shot up the rankings big time from like their the metrics standpoint.
I think, like you said,
late in the
having
season.
a lot
They're
of
playing their best ball right now. There's no doubt.
Having a lot of veteran players, 3-4 year players on the team, that's huge.
It is.
This
It
time of
really
year.
is. They got to stay out of foul trouble, and they got to keep playing good defense. But you get another performance like from Caleb Love too, like he got against UCLA, and I don't know that anybody's going to beat you. So
I also don't want Bill Self to win a championship. I don't know.
No, and I don't want to play Jay Wright again. That motherfucker already burned me once.
Zach, I love your point to that. I think that you come up, but my worry about that is that does the winner of Carolina Duke have a hard time getting that high back from playing such a big game?
In a game like that, I don't think it matters when the national championship game. I think you can get up for that at any point.
Don't forget the Team USA in 1980. They still had to beat Finland afterwards, and they went out there and they did beat them. So
that is true. I just worry that like say Carolina wins, and then they go into Monday night's game. It's like, well, we just played our biggest game of the year, and now we got to play Kansas.
I really truthfully think that's different for a team like UNC, who's older. They're more mature in a way that they've been here more. Maybe a team like Duke would maybe let it get to their heads and whatever, and maybe a team like North Carolina could maybe not let that happen. But like I said, we got to see who wins the game first.
I don't think it's out of the question for there to be a letdown effect, but I do think that like letdown is usually more prone in the regular season. Come off a big win during the regular season on a Saturday or Sunday. You get that quick turnaround on Tuesday, and you just get fucking drilled by it under 500 team.
Why don't they do Friday, Sunday?
Yeah, I hate that.
More eyes on Saturday, that's for sure.
They love having the national. Is there something about a national championship has to be on a Monday?
People are home.
Yeah,
that's true. Because football does the same thing.
Yeah, people are home. That's the biggest thing.
That is true. I do think outside of the Duke Carolina game, which is obviously the biggest game, Kansas. I mean, I think this is going to be. I think Kansas beats them pretty handily, like you said, Zach.
I
they're missing a starter.
That Villanova kind of has no chance.
Yeah, I mean,
but Jay Wright loves that kind of stuff.
Jay Wright's an unbelievable coach. He's an unbelievable coach.
That's true. I think that Agbaji, we talk about guys that might be in the running for, player of the tournament or whatever. I mean, Agbaji's been playing well, and secretly, Remy Martin, who is a transfer from Arizona State, had a really bad beginning of the year and has been kind of putting things together. I think Kansas looks obviously everybody's talking about Carolina Duke. Let's not forget that this Kansas team has been in the top 7, top 8 in the country all year and are, quietly in a Final Four.
When you go to Kansas, you know what you're supposed to do. You got to win a conference title and at least get past like the Elite 8, Sweet 16.
They usually do get to the Elite Eight with Bill Self. Guy's got an unbelievable track record.
Three of the four coaches have great track records, and then hopefully North Carolina's coach is starting his great career.
Hubert.
Give the guy some credit the way that team's turning around.
Oh,
This
Hubert
Yeah.
Davis is my favorite coach of all of them left.
seems like a good dude.
Yeah,
Give
I'm
him
not a Bill Self guy, and Jay Wright, he's already won it.
Jay Wright's a great coach.
Oh, he's
I
an
love
amazing
Jay
coach.
Wright.
I think he's a better coach than Coach K.
I think you can make that argument. Just like
Yeah, sure.
I think, I'm not saying career wise. I'm saying like right
X's
now.
and O's.
Like I don't think anybody's gotten more out of their team the last 5 years than Jay Wright.
That's
No, I
fair.
think
Yeah.
I think that was maybe an unfair comparison for
Maybe-
Jay Wright.
maybe
But
10
I think
years
overall he's going to have a great career.
He's what, he's got 2 rings. Could get a
Yeah.
third here. You know, it's
Hall
And
of
I mean,
Famer.
and it's not like, I mean, Villanova's been a power for a long time, but like when you think Villanova, you think Jay Wright, and he's a guy who's maybe late 40s.
they were a power, but before like that, they're running national titles, but they weren't Final Four, teams every year. Like they were
Right.
They were always good in the Big East, always a team you always wanted to worry about. They could always knock off some good teams, but it usually wasn't a title contender. And now he's turned them into a perennial title contender.
Winning every year and always
Yeah, it's
in the
nuts.
top 10.
That Connor Gillespie, that he's one of those guys, like you can just see him having a game against Kansas that he just is unconscious and they just somehow find a way to win.
Won a national title with Ryan.
Isn't there another?
Archidiacono.
Yeah, isn't there an Archidiacono on this team?
Yeah,
too?
it's his
Like
little brother.
Yeah, be something.
Yeah, if
What
he
is
can
there-
win 2 national titles with 2
is there a Dante
Archidiaconos.
DiVincenzo brother on
Yeah.
this team too?
No kidding. If he
Just
wins
get
a second
everybody's
title,
siblings on there.
yeah, if he can win another 2 titles with 2 Archidiaconos, he might be the greatest coach of all time. I think we
That's
could.
fucking GOAT status at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But we're in for a great weekend, great final on Monday.